Good evening and welcome to Football Friday Night. Alongside Tony Quach, I'm Jason Geiser, taking the lead one final time, and we lead off with a monster matchup in the MAC.
Following a 7-0 run through the season so far, Coldwater tonight starts a grueling stretch run. The Cavs host 6-1 New Bremen tonight. Then they go to defend the Division 5 state champ Versailles next Friday and close out the regular season at home against undefeated D7 champ Marion Loco.
Coldwater enters tonight on a 23-game home win streak and sports an 85-5 record at Cavalier Stadium this century. They've won their last 20 meetings against New Bremen. Second half, on Coldwater's opening possession, Marcel Blasingame rolls left and dives into a pile of bodies. That's good for the touchdown and a 21-7 lead. When New Bremen fumbles the ensuing kickoff, the deficit grows wider. Jake Ebbing powers through. It's 27-7 Cavs, but the Cardinals don't go down without a fight. David Homan slings it to midfield where Grant Dickey has separation from his man. Dickey on the run, takes it to the house. Just like that, New Bremen soars right back into the game, down just 13. But the Cavs never give up their lead. Here, Homan heads to his right, but he's met for a 3-yard loss by Cody Depwig. Coldwater stays perfect, 35-28. I told you that Versailles plays host to Coldwater next week. Tonight, the Tigers take a trip north into St. Henry, trying not to let that looming date with the Cavs overshadow a matchup against a skin squad that's dropped 6 straight. Opening drive of the game, Connor Stonebreaker delivers the pigskin to Michael Osborne, and he makes the defenders miss. Osborne with room to run, moving the chains and more. He's down to the 35-yard line. Later in the drive, Osborne takes the snap and sees a hole at the line of scrimmage. He bursts onto the scene, taking it 20 yards, virtually untouched. It's 7-0 in favor of the Tigers. Second quarter, same score, but St. Henry's threatening. Curtis Putoff gets it to Hayden Beckman, who gets the Redskins into the red zone. They get a field goal out of this drive, but Versailles is scoring touchdowns. Osborne throws to his right and hits Stonebreaker in the end zone. Versailles wins 33-9. Around the MAC, aforementioned Marion Local shuts out Anna 48-0. Minster beats St. John's 37-14, and Fort Recovery protects home field against Parkway 33-7.
Entering Week 8, there are only 2 undefeated teams in the NWC. The Bluffton Pirates and the Allen East Mustangs. Tonight, these 2 teams collide and put their 4-0 league records on the line in our Football Friday Night Spotlight game.
The Football Friday Night Spotlight game is brought to you by CCR Realtors.
The Mustangs have won 7 of the last 8 meetings against the Pirates. Tonight, Bluffton looks to pick up their first win against the Stangs since 2017. Both teams have scored over 120 points during their current 4-game winning streak. Second half, Allen East up 10-0 when Joseph Ho, Landon Reiser, and Keenan Lehman swarm the running back as soon as he touches the ball. Allen East forces a 3-and-out. Jacob Hirschberger takes a snap. He breaks away from a pair of Pirates, and Hirschberger, with a wide-open pass to the end zone, the senior takes it for 61 yards. That gives the Mustangs a 17-0 lead. Allen East with the ball on their 44-yard line. It's Hirschberger taking it himself once more. This time, he goes for 56 yards. He heads into the end zone with ease, and the Mustangs now lead 24-0. Pirates still trying to get on the board. Bluffton's QB breaks away from the pocket. He looks for an open man, but the pass gets picked off by Bryce Avery. Allen East goes on to win 30-14. From Harmon Stadium to Clymer Stadium, it's the clash of the Bulldogs as Columbus Grove hosts Ada. Ada trying to win back-to-back games for the first time since 2017, while Grove looks to pick up their 3rd straight dub. Opening quarter, Julian Gross and Kason Jones meets at the ball carrier and takes him down for no gain. How about an encore? Ada putting on the pressure. This time it's Dalton Amos taking down the Grove QB. That'll be a loss of 7 on the play. Grove turns it over on downs. But the home dogs will regain the ball. Landon Best takes a snap and he forces his way into the end zone. Grove gets on the board first. They lead 7-0. To the second quarter, CG up by 10. Best looks for an open man. He connects to Trenton Barraza, and Barraza glides past Ada's defense. He goes for 52 yards. Grove takes a 17-0 lead. They go on to win 38-12.
To America's friendliest city we go now. A pair of teams trying to get back to 500. Jefferson's fresh off a 56-point loss at Allen East a week ago. Lipstick's lost 2 straight, both by 20 points or more. Second half, Jeff Cats trying to put this one to bed. Andrew Miller takes the handoff, totes the pumpkin 40 yards to pay dirt. The home team has a 39-14 lead at Stadium Park. Lipstick can feel the sense of urgency. Tyler Lammers rolls and connects with Trent Siefker on the sideline. The Vikings work the ball down the field, but Jefferson then makes an another big play. Braylon Scalf comes down with the interception in the end zone. Jeff Cats win 39-14. A pair of teams who are desperate for a win square off in Spencerville tonight. The Bearcats have dropped 5 in a row since their lone win of the season. Crestview's lost 4 straight since a 3-0 start. First quarter, here come the Knights. Carson Hunter connects with Kellen Putman over the top. The road team's on the march down to the 15-yard line, and those two would hook up once again later in the drive. Hunter up top to Putman in the back of the end zone. Crestview takes a 7-0 lead on the road. Spencerville has an answer in the second quarter. Josh Henline keeps it and pushes his way into that same end zone. The Bearcats have tied us at 7s, but Crestview can grind out yardage too. Braxton Leith does the honors here. Knights win 21-7. Now we welcome in Justin Dirks for his first taste of Football Friday night.
LCC continues to illustrate the perils of life as an independent. The T-Birds have played 3 of the last 4 games on the road, with the average trip being 91 miles each way. Yikes. Now the next 2 games are at home, with next week's opponent traveling 387 miles to Lima from Toronto. But first things first, tonight the Thunderbirds tangle with Licking Valley, who makes the 125-mile trek from Newark. LCC has beaten the Panthers each of the last 2 years. 16-6 game to start the second half, but after another score from LV, LCC is down 3 as Carson Parker does what he does best. He hits the hole, gets the block, and he is off to the races, folks. He takes that ball down the sideline for the huge run. That's an 80-yard run all the way to the 20-yard line. And that sets up, guess who? Parker again making it happen with his feet as he barely crosses the goal line for 6. LCC takes the lead 23-19. And after one more LV score, Parker takes the game into his hands, or should I say feet, hitting the left side and getting the blocks as the stiff arms the defender and hits the pylon. And that's the game winner, folks, as the Thunderbirds take the game 30-26. Right down the road at Perry, the Commodores seek their first win of the fall. It won't come easy, though, playing host to the Northwest Central Conference leaders from Waynesville Goshen, who carry a perfect 7-0 record into tonight. And WG was firing on all cylinders. We start in the first with Drew Bradagam hooking up with Dalton Jordan, all alone for the deep ball. Give him 6. Tigers up 7-0. After a short Perry drive, Bradagam uses his feet to make the play this time as he's violently brought down inside the 5. That makes it easy for running back Aiden Biderman to take it in for the 2-yard score, 13-0 WG. And a nice throw on the run sets up Bradagam to use his feet again here as the big hole up the middle allows WG to score, 19-0 Tigers. And they let the big man have a score as O-lineman Logan Webb runs it in for the 2-point conversion for a 21-point lead as the Tigers roll in this one 47-0 and stay undefeated on the season. 3 teams enter the night tied, a game behind the Tigers atop the NWCC, and all 3 are also on the road. USV takes down Ridgedale 56-6, and Hardin Northern also won on the road, taking down Crestline 49-8. And our final NWCC score has Elgin defending their home field, winning 40-20.
Thanks, Justin. We need to take a break here on Football Friday night. When we come back, we have action from the area's biggest schools in both the WBL and the Three Rivers. Stick around. Welcome back. Since their season opening loss at Marion Local, the boys at Wapakoneta have found a way to win every Friday night. The Redskins went on to win 1-score games over OG, St. Mary's, and Van Wert, and have since allowed just 15 total points in their last 3 victories. Tonight, they host winless Bath. Here's the opening kickoff, fielded at the 15 by Jace Nouse, who wastes no time bringing those Redskins fans who made it to their seats on time back to their feet. Nouse makes it all the way to the Bath 22-yard line before finally being brought down, and from there, it doesn't take long before Connor Mextro is finding the goal line from 2 yards out. Wapakoneta takes a 7-0 lead less than 3 minutes in. Bath tries to answer on their first series. Zach Welsh gets out of the pocket and gets the rock to Mikey Hale. The freshman connection hooks up for 18 yards across midfield, but the Wildcat drive stalls, and Wapak rarely does. The Skins convert 3 third-and-long situations on their next drive, and then Caleb Moyer hits Grant Hauser on a 27-yard score. Wapakoneta wins 48-0. A year ago, both Shawnee and Ottawa Glandorf were playoff teams, with the Indians winning a first-round road game and the Titans making it all the way to the state semis. Tonight, they meet up with matching 1-6 records. Late second quarter, Landon Moorman comes flying through to cut down the Shawnee ball carrier in the backfield. This game goes to halftime tied at 7s. In the third, Peyton Kuhlman drops back. He hits Ryan Ross on the crossing route. Ross slips out of a tackle at midfield, and here he comes right to us and down the sideline. He's finally tackled at the 14, but it's a 59-yard pickup. Shawnee keeps him out of the end zone, though. Joey Spiker makes the play on 3rd and 6 from the 10, and after OG doinks a field goal off the upright, the Tribe makes him pay. Chase Beery out to Jordan Banks, and it's a double pass. Banks tosses a perfect spiral to Dominic Lynch behind the D. The 33-yard score is the game winner. Shawnee takes it 21-7.
Sticking with the action in Allen County, the Elida Bulldogs welcome the St. Mary's Rough Riders. St. Mary's comes into tonight winning 3 of their last 4 games, while the Dogs are trying to snap a 3-game skid. First quarter, Coden Mabry bursts through the line, and he has room to run. Only one Bulldog got a hand on him. The 65-yard strike makes it 14-0 Riders. Elida needs to get something going. Ryan Magoo is in at quarterback, and he slings it out to Amari Wash, who picks up the first down, but the Bulldogs get nothing out of this drive. And St. Mary's normally doesn't have that problem. Second quarter, Mabry again, this time from 13 yards out. It's 21-0 in favor of the road team. And before the half, St. Mary's is at it again. This time it's Braden Sullivan. Riders win 35-3. We have another clash of the Bulldogs as Salina visits Defiance. Both teams are 5-2 entering tonight's showdown. Opening kickoff, the ball bounces off Andrew Ziri. He scoops it up and avoids disaster. The junior weaves in and out of trouble. He takes it for a big return to the 35-yard line. And on 3rd and long, Defiance goes for some misdirection, and Brogan Castillo gets the first down and more. That's a gain of 16 on the play. However, the home Dogs turn it over on downs. Salina with the ball now. Nick Adams hands out to Xander Jones, and Jones goes up the middle for a huge gain. He gets stopped at the 11-yard line, just shy of the red zone. Salina goes on to win, 15-7. Our final score from the WBLC's Van Wert, topping Kenton, 77-20.
Life in the Three Rivers Athletic Conference continues to be rough for Lima Senior. Following a 3-0 league slate, the Spartans tonight fall at Fremont Ross 35-6. Meanwhile, the Findlay football team looks to have their legs under them following a 1-4 start. The Trojans have won 2 straight entering Oregon Clay and have averaged 49 points per game in those victories. The offense is good again tonight. That was Ryan Montgomery to Brady Allen. Findlay wins 35-14.
We're set for our second and final break here on Football Friday Night. When we come back, we stay in the Flag City as BVC contenders collide at Liberty Benton. See that and more after this. Welcome back. 3 teams come into the night, tied for second place in the Blanchard Valley Conference. 2 of those 3 teams collide in Benton Ridge as they continue their pursuit of the BVC crown. The Liberty Benton Eagles and the Pandora Gilboa Rockets are both eyeing their 4th league win of the season. The Eagles have won 9 of the last 10 meetings against the Rockets. LB up 14-13 in the 3rd quarter. Cameron Garlock to Kason Doolittle down the sidelines. He makes a nice diving catch just shy of the goal line. And on the very next play, Garlock hands it out to Mason Ma. He makes it into the end zone. LB goes up 21-13. Eagles go on to win 28-19. Here's the rest of the scores from around the BBC. Macomb stays undefeated in league play with a 52-7 win against Corey Rawson on the road. The Arlington Red Devils are winners away from home with a 37-14 victory over Riverdale. And the Arcadia Redskins defeated the Van Loo Wildcats 42-14.
It's rivalry night, just 1 mile from my childhood home in suburban Hamler. Patrick Henry, though, has dropped 2 straight as they welcome undefeated Liberty Center to Big Red Stadium. Second half, Tigers up 35-6 when PH comes up with a defensive stop deep in their own end. Nash Meyer registers the sack. But when the Pats get the ball back, Seth Navarre busts through the line for the safety. PH falls 43-6. Around the area we go. In the GMC, Wayne Trace wins at Fairview 28-6, while Tenora tops Paulding 27-8. Central Buckeye Conference, Mad River Division, Indian Lake gets their first victory 35-7 at Northwestern. Urbana beats Ben Logan 37-8. In the Kenton Trail Division, Bell Fountain bests Jonathan Alder 27-7. In the TRC, Lehman Catholic crushes Covington 67-6, and Riverside blanks Miami East 45-zip. A couple of non-conference scores to wrap things up. Fort Loramie wins at Thurgood Marshall 42-24, while Van Buren smacks their neighbors from North Baltimore 63-8. That is how we draw to a close week 8 of Football Friday Night. Thanks to everyone here who puts the show on the air, and thanks to you for tuning in every week. If you've been doing so nightly, you probably know I don't really work here anymore. I've been at your games and on TV less and less. I will be around to help out on random Fridays here and there, but this is my last time scheduled to have this platform, so I just want to let all of you know how much this place and its viewers have meant to me over the last decade. Take care. And take care of Dave, Justin, and Tony, okay? It's now their job to keep our sports coverage the best of any small market station in the country. I know how hard that is. Have a good night.